Hey dolls, welcome. I almost said to another Thursday live stream, but today ain't Thursday. Today is Friday. I haven't gone live on a Friday probably since the beginning of my YouTube career. It has been a good minute. Don't mind my makeup in the bag. I have to get a new makeup case later on when I go out. And this get ready with me is impromptu. I am actually going out tonight. I'm going to work tonight. And if you don't know, I do Uber Eats on the weekends and such. And sometimes I just like to get dolled up. I feel like, in my experience, the tips are better when you're dolled up. Not to say I don't get good tips when I'm not dolled up, because I just give good service, period. But I feel like when I am dolled up, it's better tips or what have you. I'm trying to figure out where to put my mirror so I can see. I'm gonna have to hold it as I go about my thing. But if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. If you're not new and you're returning, well then welcome back. Announcements really quick before I dive into everything that I want to talk about, and then the prayer, because we will pray at the end of this. By the way, we will pray at the end of this. I've never done like a get ready with me in prayer, but I was like, if you're new here, at the beginning of every month I do like to pray. And last week was just really crazy and stuff like that, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to get to it. So that's why we're here. But I do want to just say some announcements. So first and foremost, the October outing for Single and Saved in the City is live. I do need to put that in. I'll probably put that in the comment, a pinned comment underneath this replay. So if you're in the Atlanta area, we're going to be going to Andretti's in Marietta, Georgia, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a family friendly venue as well. So if you have children, feel free to come. It is for Christian single women though. But I mean, you can bring friends too. Like, bring some of your friends and let's just hang out and have a good time. It's not really like gonna be a super structured event. The only thing is that I do want people to RSVP so that I can try to get us some good seating in the restaurant area, because Andretti's has like a restaurant seating area. They have a sky bar, which is upstairs. They have bowling, indoor go karts. They have virtual reality games. They have laser tag. I mean, they literally have like everything that you could think of. So I do want to make sure I get us some at least decent seating in the restaurant area. It's not always super crowded on the weekends for the food part, because sometimes people just get their food and go bowling or what have you. But it is something that I want to make sure we get seating for. So like I said, I'll put the link in the pinned comment after this, but you could go on Eventbrite and just search Kingdom Girls Sisterhood Social. I almost said Sisterhood Circle. Sisterhood Social, and you should see it. But again, that's an in-person meetup. That's for people that are in Atlanta and so on and so forth. Also, join the newsletter. Goes out on the 1st and 15th of every month. 15-ish. Sometimes I'm a little late, but that's about the time it goes out. So make sure that you sign up for that. It should be in the description box down below. Also, I'll be making some announcements. So I did say I'm going to start selling merch. That, like, the merch and the announcement dates and all that, is going to be through the newsletter first, and they're also going to get some special deals like discounts and such. So you're definitely going to want to be in the mailing list, the email list. Make sure you join that. And other than that, I mean, here we are. Like, I don't have any crazy announcements other than that. I'm still on IG hiatus on my main page, but you can follow me on there too if you would like, and call it a day. So, other than the announcements, I do want to talk just about getting back in alignment with God, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired. Like, this year, I was telling a couple of my friends, I was like, this year has been very hectic. I feel like I'm playing catch up. Like, every time I turn around, I'm like, okay, I got a breather. It's like I got to catch up on something else. It's like, okay, I caught up on that. Now I'm running to beat the clock on this. It just seems like it's so much that I have to catch up on. And so this time of year, typically I would do what I was hosting, what I call the harvest fast. But this year I didn't host it because I'm running the group and stuff like that. But and I'm also not really fasting myself right now. I'm thinking if I should, like, maybe it would be helpful. But I definitely feel like it's needed, because this is a time of year for me where it's super hectic. Like, between the holidays, birthdays, and all that kind of stuff, there's just a lot going on. And quite frankly, the burnout can be real. So I do like to take some time to reset and just get myself back together. But I just feel like there's so much to be done at the same time because I am launching the products and I am doing this group now, which I love. I don't want to make it seem like, oh my gosh, like the group is such a burden because it's not. Like I absolutely love the ladies in the group. I love all that we got going on. But it's just a lot. I'm like juggling a lot. And then this is my first year being a schooling mom and I am a homeschool mom, which thankfully is flexible. I'm trying to find this little brush and I cannot find it, y'all. Thankfully it's flexible, so it's not too bad. But still, it's just like it's a new level of responsibility that I'm not completely adjusted to yet in my life. You know, up until this point, obviously, I've been a mom, but it's different when you got to be on top of a school schedule and things like that. You know, and then to homeschool, thankfully, I'm not doing it all by myself. I don't know where my little blending brush went. Oh, child. The ghetto, y'all. I need to get I need to get me a new makeup case. But it's different when you have to like do it all yourself. I really don't know where my thing is. I'm gonna have to use my fingers, y'all. Don't judge me because I can't. I don't know where my little blending thing is. But you know what? When I first started doing makeup, I was definitely doing it like this. It was definitely like with the fingers, making it work, you know? And sometimes, honestly, it blends out better, like more smooth, in my opinion, when you use your fingers. So, yeah. But needless to say, it's just been a lot. And so, God really pressed it upon me this month to go ahead and get refocused. I feel like when the year started, I was super optimistic. And I know that sounds cliche because I mean, it's like everybody says that when the new year started, I was optimistic. But I've had some new years start and I just felt regular. Like nothing felt super special, nothing felt crazy, you know, different or anything like that. It was just kind of like, okay, it's a new year. But this year felt different. Like when I said it was going to be my year, I meant that. I meant that with every fiber of my being, and it just has not, a lot of things have not panned out the way that I want them to. You know, I have been doing vision boards and stuff like that for the past few years, and I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm looking at it, I'm just like, none of this stuff came to pass. Well, let me see, did any of the stuff come to pass? um like maybe one or two things came to pass, but honestly, most of them didn't. And so I'm just like, do I even want to do that next year? But I mean, we got time for me to figure that out. But it's just been a lot. It's been a lot going on this year. And like I said, I feel like I'm trying to beat the clock. And so, you know, a lot of times when you're pursuing goals in life, it can you can get sidetracked. If you're a multi-passionate person like myself, this will resonate with you because it's like you have so much that you want to do. You feel like, I don't want to say you feel like you're losing time per se, but I am getting older. Like come November, I'm going to be 34. And so there's a lot in my life where I'm like, okay, I feel like I should have done this already. And then there are some things that I put off because of fear and because of procrastination, like with the singles group, you know, I put off that group for 2 years off of fear and procrastination because I was like, I don't really know if I should do it. I don't know if I want to be responsible for a whole group. Like, I don't know. But then it really dawned on me like, God keeps bringing me back to this because no matter how many times, excuse me, let me turn this fan away from my face because I'm just getting over a cold too. But it's like no matter how many times I might try to fit in with other people and such, it just doesn't pan out. It doesn't work. And so, not to say like I'm a complete recluse or hermit or anything. Like there are some people that I have connected with, and it has materialized into some decent friendships. But for the most part, God has continuously kept me kind of in solitude. And so I finally was like, I gotta go ahead and start this group because clearly, clearly what I'm looking for is not anywhere else, or God is keeping it hidden from me for a reason because He wants me to be the one to start the group. Hello, eyebrows. Come on, brows. One thing about me is brows be on point, okay? Brow life be on point. One thing we gonna do is have our brows be on point, okay? And I try to keep mine shaped up because I don't really wear a lot of makeup. I know, you know, y'all be seeing the pictures, the face be beat and stuff, but I wear makeup maybe 2 to 3 times a week, if that. Because honestly, there are some times I'll go to church without makeup on because I just can't be bothered. It's just too much sometimes. And church starts kind of early for us in my household. So yeah, I'm just like, sometimes y'all just gonna get this bare face and call it a day. But that's why skincare is important. That's why you got to take care of your skin. You can't just slap some makeup on it. You got to take care of your skin as well. But needless to say, what was I saying originally? I'll be losing track. I'll be losing track, child. What was I saying? Yeah, so I can't remember exactly what I was saying, but needless to say, you just feel like it's a lot that's going on. There's a lot you want to accomplish, a lot you want to do. The years kind of passing you by. So that's how it was for me. It's just like at this point, I got to go ahead and just do this group, do these things because I'm looking for other people to do it, but I'm not finding it. Or when I find it, it still doesn't feel like it doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't feel authentic to what I'm looking for. So that's how I started the group. And then, everything else this year, the group I started in the summer. I should have started it sooner now that I think about it, because now we're in the swing of all the events and stuff. And it's like, it's a lot to keep up with. But needless to say, the rest of the year, my plans for the rest of the year and stuff just kind of went up in like, I guess you could say they went up in flames. I don't know. I'm just kind of in this weird space right now. I'm really just taking it day by day. I think this is the most like day by day I've been in my entire life. Usually, I'm pretty nonchalant in general when it comes to plans and stuff, but usually I'm a little bit more decisive, or like, I don't even want to say decisive. That's not the word. Usually I'm a little bit more sure of like, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. This is where I'm going and this and that. But I really have been on some, we just going to take it day by day type stuff. So God definitely has been calling me to reset, and then too, like some of you guys that have been following me for a while and subscribed for a while, like I found a new church this year that I was hunkering down with and stuff, and I'm still going there. But I'm not gonna lie, it could be a little overwhelming because it's just like so much going on all the time, and before you know it, you're at everything there and you're neglecting your responsibilities in your personal life. And there are a lot of responsibilities that I have, And so while it's good to go to these events and do these things, it also, no, my alarm going off. I set I set my alarm for my naps, y'all. That's one thing I've been doing more this year too, taking naps. Because typically once I'm up, I'm up. I'm not going back to sleep. But yeah, it's just like there's so much that has to be done. And one thing, because I remember talking to one of my friends at church about this, I was like, I don't want a good thing like church involvement to become a bad thing by me neglecting my responsibilities. Because sometimes you could be so involved with something and it's like, oh, I'm diving in. This is a good thing. You don't feel bad about it. And next thing you know, you're neglecting your responsibilities. Because at the end of the day, first and foremost, I'm a mom. And for me, I could take my son to like midweek stuff or whatnot, but it'll be a lot harder because I work in the night. So if I'm gonna do Uber Eats, it's usually nighttime I do it because during the day I want to do school stuff with him or other stuff, run errands, doctor's appointments, what have you. And so I don't really want to bring him because I live 30 minutes from the church. And if I bring him, I got to drop him home before I work. Like, yes, you can have people with you while you work, but my son is young. He's 5. So he's going to want to eat people's food, do different stuff, touch everything, go in every establishment. And some of the establishments after a certain time, because I'm usually out late on the weekends, are like 18 and up or 21 and up, So it's just like, there's a lot that I have to do with him during the week. There's a lot that I got to do with my mom. And God was just like, you need to reset. Like, yes, going to church, getting involved in church and all that is great, but you can't let that suck your life up. And you have all these other things that you have to balance. And so that was one thing. I really love this foundation. I always go for kind of a light look on my day-to-day makeup looks. I'm not one that's going to do like the hour-long face beat. The longest part for me, honestly, is the brows and doing the face products and stuff. But since I started wearing magnetic lashes, it's a game changer. Like I don't even like using the glue anymore. I still have glue left over from other times I've used it, but at this point, I'm pretty much stuck on the magnetic lashes. It's a lot easier. It's a lot faster. It's a lot less stress, and I just feel like it lasts better throughout the day. But I do want to get back into lash extensions. I only wore them once, but I don't know. They felt weird the first time I did it. It was just kind of like, oh my gosh, like these things are on me all the time. And for me, like you guys know, I like to wear my wigs. I like to switch up my hairstyles if I'm not rocking my natural hair. I like to wear my makeup and stuff like that. But I don't like stuff being on me all the time. So that's why I prefer wigs versus like sew-ins and stuff like that, or even clip-ins versus sew-ins. Because when I come home, I'm gonna take those things out and just be like free. I don't want stuff attached to me all the time. But the extensions do last like 2 weeks, sometimes 3, I think. Don't quote me. And that's one less step to do, when you're doing your makeup. And if that's if you even want to do your makeup, because you can put on some tinted moisturizer and cover the day. But yeah, so with the church involvement, that was sucking up my schedule. And then because I found myself at church like multiple times throughout the week. And I was just like, again, that's not a bad thing, but being someone who has a lot of responsibilities outside of the church, it's like, okay, I got to really sit in and look at it and be like, do I just keep going and neglecting my responsibilities? Or do I take a break and not necessarily like fall all the way back, but definitely fall back a little bit? So maybe instead of going to 3 or 4 events a week, you're going to 1 or 2, that kind of thing. And so I had to just have that real talk with myself. And then also spending time with my son too, because the reality is being a single mom, a lot of my time is already split as it is, because I have to be ripping and running, trying to provide for us. But then I also homeschool and stuff like that. So we don't really get as much time as I would like to just play and just like, do those kind of things. So I definitely am trying to do more of that because he's still young. And, I do want to enjoy those moments while I can to the best of my ability. And so looking at all those things, plus working, plus starting this group, plus trying to do these merch, launches that I'm doing and whatnot. It was just like, you know what? Yeah, you need to reset, because I was burned out. And then one thing, like I said in my newsletter for this month, the first one is that I was praying so long for God to send me friends in this area. And once I started going to this church, I don't know everybody there, and quite frankly, I don't want to. Like, I know that sounds terrible, but I'm good. Like right now, I'm so good. But God was connecting me with like other people this year. A lot of them just weren't a good fit, in my opinion, for a close friendship. And some of them just flat out flopped. People switch up, they act different, they be having their moments and whatnot. And so I had said in my newsletter for October 1st, I was like, it's crazy because you can pray so long for something and be like, God, like, bless me with this, bless me with that, this, that, the third. He starts answering that. And then you're like, you know what? I'm good. It's almost like if someone is like, oh, I wish I had more of a social life. And then you get more of a social life, and it's like, yeah, I don't really want that social life anymore. Or, when you make plans with someone and they're like, oh, we're going to go here, or do this or do that. And you're just like, okay, yeah, like in the moment you down for it. You're like, yeah, that sounds fun, this, at the third. And then as the event comes closer, you start regretting the fact that you said you're going to be there. Like that's kind of where I was with the friendship thing. It was just like, hey, Michelle, yeah, we're live on a Friday, because I didn't make it the rest of the week. I wanted to do it last night, and then I was like, oh no, I got stuff to do. So I was testing the waters. I was like, I don't know, Fridays can be kind of dry on YouTube. So I don't know, but we here. I'm doing my face before I go to work, because I got to get these tips, girl. You know how to for Uber Eats, in case anyone happens to come in on that part of the video. Tips for Uber Eats, okay? Because that can be taken, that can be taken a whole nother way. I know, right? Story of our lives. So I was like, I'll just do a get ready with me and still do my Bible discussion, because I didn't have any crazy formal points anyway. And then just end it with a prayer and call it a day, while I head out. Well, I got to get dressed after this. But yeah, so I'm just talking about resetting and refocusing, and like how the whole year has just felt like I'm playing catch up. Like I can't even catch my breath. Every time I look up, I'm like, okay, we're past this. Whoo, I could breathe. And it's like, nope, something else. Okay, new month, new holiday, new fire to fight, or whatever the case may be. Right, gotta clarify. Gotta clarify real quick. So, I'm just talking about that and like how I kind of felt like I lost focus for the year in a way. So yeah, it's just been a lot. It's like, found a new church. Like I said, I enjoy going, but it can be a little overwhelming because it's like there's so much going on and you want to go, but at the same time, it's like I really had to sit and think, like, I can't neglect my other responsibilities just to always be up in the church house. Like, it just doesn't make sense, because the reality of the situation is there are certain goals I'm trying to meet. There are certain things. Oh yeah, definitely text me. Text me what your coworker said. There are certain goals I'm trying to meet. There are certain things I'm trying to accomplish within the next, I would say, 1 to 5 years. And some of those things that are 5 years away, I got to start setting the foundation from now. So it's all about balance. It's all about boundaries. And it's all about being okay. Like, yeah, like I'm not going to be there, you know? And if that makes me look any worse in your eyes, or if you feel some type of way about me not coming to your event or something, then it's like, okay, like I don't really know what to tell you. Like my I couldn't care less Gene and energy is very strong right now. Like I really just could not care less. Like honestly, I couldn't care less. And so I'm just trying to reset. I'm trying to get back refocused. I'm really just trying to get back to the heart of the matter of a lot of different things and figure out, okay, girl, what are we doing? What's going on? You know, what's happening here? Do I have Oh, you know what? My liner is in the bathroom. I'm gonna have to pop on those lashes after this. But because I don't feel like getting up to go get it right now. But yeah, so needless to say, like I said, October historically has been a month for me where I'm resetting and I'm just like getting myself back together. Typically, I'm fasting. I might do a little fast this month, but I'm not hosting my usual fast, like I had said earlier. But who knows? I just think that it's a great month to reset. And then come November, it's very much a busy time for the holidays, but also on the Hebrew calendar, usually sometime between mid-November and mid-December starts the month of Kislev, which is the month where you're just supposed to be like hopeful for what you're believing in and like really just making those petitions to God and whatnot for the things that you desire. So that's the time where according to the Hebrew calendar, like I said, biblical calendar, you would write down your stuff, your desires, the things you're praying for, and really just like keep verbally petitioning it, like saying it out loud, really praying about it, envisioning it and stuff like that. I did a video about it last year. I need to see if I archived it or not. Because quite frankly, I archived quite a bit of videos for my channel. I was just like, y'all always know about that with the life update. And if you don't, then make sure you watch my life update on my channel because I gave y'all some updates to let you know like kind of where my energy is with YouTube right now. Because that's another thing too. Like I really thought that this is going to be the year I become like a full-time YouTuber, but YouTube monetization isn't all it's cracked up to be. Like I'm grateful to be monetized, but there's definitely some things they don't tell you. And I talked about that in a video I put out a couple months ago, like what they don't tell you about being a YouTuber. But yeah, I definitely thought like this is going to be that year. Um, there are still some things that are up in the air that I'm praying about, and quite frankly, I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and just try it. You don't know unless you try, and we'll just see. But I'm really at that point, like I was saying earlier, where I'm thinking, do I even want to do a vision board or something like that for next year? I'm really kind of in this space too, where not only am I getting reset and refocused, but it's kind of like God, just have your way. Like I just can't, I can't be bothered. Like like you know what's on my heart, and I know there's power in saying it and believing it and all that, but it's like what I want. What's like my deepest desire. Better than I do. So it's just like I'm tired of constantly saying it. I'm tired of constantly like looking out for it. Like let's just get to the breakthrough already because I done paid my dues. So, but I definitely and another part of resetting and refocusing for me is setting those boundaries. So I did do a live about that. I think it was last week. Was it last week? I don't know. I think it was last week about setting boundaries and how people aren't entitled to your space and energy and time because Jesus, okay? Because that's one thing this year, like I was saying, as I met people, it's like they were overstepping boundaries or they were expecting me to always be like super available and just like at their beck and call and all this kind of stuff. And one thing about me is that I will do the most when it comes to people very quickly because I have a very caring heart. Okay, thanks. I can remember. I was like, was it last week? I don't know. It's all a blur. But I would do the most when it comes to people. And when I look up, that energy is not reciprocated to me. And I know it sounds petty to be like, oh, you shouldn't even think like that. But I have to. I have to protect my peace. I have to protect my energy. And so, I will duck off when necessary. I told somebody that the other day. We were in the DMs talking, and I was like, yeah, like, I will duck off if I have to. Like, it is what it is, especially being someone who struggles with anxiety. Like, if I got to duck off, I got to duck off. And I feel like if you're truly someone who cares about me, you will understand that. Or honestly, if we're talking like dating, because this is one of those type of situations, you should be able to notice it, in my opinion, because you know me long enough and be like, hold on, something ain't right. Something is off here. What's going on? And kind of stand in the gap. But, for me, I'm pretty attentive when it comes to people's patterns and stuff like that. Sorry, y'all. Still a little congested. But I'm just like, yeah, I got to protect my peace. I got to do for me because I can't keep taking from my house and my energy and my overflow to pour into other people and it's not being reciprocated. Like, ain't nobody got the time for that. So, that's another part of me resetting and refocusing. Because I was saying too that you can pray so hard for something like, God, send me friends, send me this, send me that. And then you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm tapped out on the friend quota right now. Close friends, let me say that, because I don't want y'all to hear and be like, oh, I can't even talk to her. Like, you can talk to me, but like best friends and close friends, I think I'm pretty good right now. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I think I'm pretty good. Now, as far as like running the group and stuff like that, I'm cool with that. Because that's a different layer of closeness and camaraderie. But if you're trying to be like, ooh, yeah, that's my best friend, go best friend, that's my, but like that kind, no. Hey sis, hey Yasmin. And then that's not the that's not the thing that I'm on right now. Like I'm pretty much met my quota, like I said. I feel like I put too much baking. I baked too long on this side. I'm just talking about resetting, refocusing, protecting your peace. Just kind of giving a quick rundown as I do my face because I'm doing my makeup to go work. Because I feel like on weekends, especially when my makeup is done, the tips be better. I don't know. I think people just like to see someone pretty delivering their food. I don't know. I get pretty decent tips anyway because I go above and beyond. But yeah, like though that makeup be making a difference. And then you never know who you might run into. I've been dating in the city for a little bit, so you might run into someone that didn't work out with or something, and don't want to be looking a hot raggedy mess, looking like what you done been through in the week. So, but yeah, so God has definitely been telling me to refocus and just get back to basics. Like revisit those plans. And then too, the end of the year is kind of that time where it's like, okay, we got to rush and do everything that we didn't get to do. Now, granted, for me, like I said, this year I am launching some things. So it is before the end of the year. So it is somewhat of a rush, but I'm also realistic in the sense that I'm like, I'm not looking to make like a 5-figure launch, if God bless me like that. But yes, getting ready for work. And God bless me like that, I'm not gonna complain. But I have a very sober minded approach to like the end of the year. Because I saw a post on Facebook, I think it was earlier this week, where it was like, the end of the year is here, Q4, and don't let people like rush you to be like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Come on, come on, come on. Because it's like at the end of the day, you might need to rest, like for real. You might need to just take these next few months and just chill, reevaluate life, figure out like what am I doing? What is this all for? Where am I going? So when the new year hits, you're like really refreshed because this time of year is tiring. It is extremely exhausting. And there's no point in rushing to do something if it wasn't kind of already in the balance, in my opinion. Like you might as well just take a breather, or if you do what you feel led to do, whatever the case may be. But yeah, like if you don't feel led to hurry up and launch something before Black Friday or whatever, then don't do it. It's okay. Like one thing is Black Friday is always going to come back around. Like that's something that's going to come around every year. If you want to launch or maybe just do like a soft launch, kind of like what I plan to do that. Like do whatever works for you, but don't fall into the hamster wheel of like, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we gotta do like, no. I'm so over people telling people what to do and how to live. I pray that God shows me where I do that. That's good. Yeah. Like, and I had to realize that too. When I was like doing business and creative consulting last year, I was like, granted, that's a part of that niche to tell people like, because you're part of your target audience are people that are already kind of doing it. You're just trying to encourage them. But I still kind of realized like, you know what? I'm doing a lot right now. Like as far as telling them what to do, like they might actually be in the point where maybe they need to just sit down and reevaluate what worked during the year, what didn't work during the year. Where are you at now? Do you want to keep doing these same strategies going forward? Do you even still want to keep doing this business? Honestly, because sometimes, you start something and it's like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then you're like, I'm good. Like and then you change sometimes and you're like, I would never do this, I would never do that, and then you're doing it. Because one thing I always used to say is I would never have a product based business because I just felt like it was too much work and all that kind of stuff. I also was like, oh, I'm not gonna lead no group or nothing like that, and here I am leading a group and launching a product based business. So it's like you just don't know. You don't know. So take that time to be still, and it's like, yes, we use the calendar, the yearly calendar, to kind of judge things and give you a guide or whatever. But God could bless a launch anytime if it's within His timing. You could launch in February and have a killer launch. You could launch in May and have a killer launch. Um, Let me see. People said don't hustle. Well, what did God? Well, what did God did that person to do, or what did God tell that person to do? I mean, obviously He calls us to rest. However, He might have someone in a season where God is saying hit the ground. Yes, or alternative, He might be leading you to do nothing. Yes, you were coaching, so that's different. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So um, I agree with that because I'm kind of in that season too where it's like God's calling me to reset and refocus, but He's not necessarily calling me to rest because I don't think they're all necessarily mean the same thing. Because sometimes you can hear that and be like, okay, yeah, that means I have to rest. He's like, no, reset and refocus on what you need to do, like the basics. So, you said you wanted to do the group, you said you wanted to launch the merch, and you know that this time of year is very important and lucrative for your gig work, Uber Eats and stuff. Because everybody that does that kind of work, like your Uber, your Lyft, your DoorDash, whatever, they know if you don't get it while the getting is good and January hits, you're gonna be crying. Like it's gonna be January's tough. Okay, January's tough. I've been doing this for over 6 years now. Whew, child, trust me. When January hits, we'd be like, why, Lord? So this is the time for you to sacrifice. To all my gig workers out there, if you're watching or maybe you're thinking of signing up for the holidays, do it and just sacrifice a little bit. So how I was saying earlier that I sacrificed attending certain activities at church, which to some people could be like, oh, you're not serious, you're not pressing in. But it's like at the end of the day, I can't neglect my responsibilities. I can't neglect the things that God's calling me to. Now, am I going apostate and just completely leaving the faith? No, but I'm not going to be here 4 or 5 times a week because I got stuff to do. And then too, something that hit me earlier this year that I also was talking to a friend about is I don't want church to become so much of I don't want to say an idol, but so much of a thing in my life to where I even neglect spending time with my child because I'm serving so much in the church. Because I know there was one guy that was interested in me like last year, I think it was, and his parents were very involved in the church. But he said, and he's involved in the church now too, pretty heavily. I think he even works there, like on the payroll. But he was saying he wishes that when he was growing up, that his dad had spent like more time with the family and wasn't always just like enthralled in church activities. Because he was like, yes, that's great, but we never really had family time like that, or and not as much as he thought that they should have had, given his parents' availability. And so that really resonated with me because I'm like, something that starts off so good, and honestly is not an evil or malicious thing, can end up leaving a bad taste in your family's mouth if you make it like an idol in your life. And so you just have to be mindful of all those things. I never thought I would have a product-based business. I know, right? It's crazy. But here we are with Product 7. Yes, they all lead to my service. So of course, I'm here for that. Come on, Product 7. Everybody is healthy in January. Right. They save money and eating healthier. So it can be rough. Like people ain't ordering out in January. People barely even going out. So because I used to do customer, and I'll link these products down below, y'all, because if you want to know, it's nothing crazy. It's just a simple everyday look. And I'm gonna pop on these lashes after the live because I have to find my magnetic liner. I think it's in my bathroom somewhere. But these like magnetic lashes, y'all, game changer. I'm never going back to glue. If I don't have lash extensions, I'm always doing magnetic. And personally, I like the Kiss brand the best. I tried INV and Kiss and Duo. I like the Kiss brand the best. Haven't tried Rondelle yet, and I haven't tried. There's another big brand that does lashes. I haven't tried theirs either. But Kiss though, those lashes last long. And the thing with magnetic lashes is that you can wipe the magnets clean. Because when I first started using them, I was like, dang, like I'm spending more money for a pair of magnetic lashes and they lasting just as long as the regular glue ones. Like, what a waste of money. And so I was like, there's got to be a way to sustain these things longer. And I looked it up on YouTube and Google, and you just take like a wet paper towel or like a wipe, an antibacterial wipe or something, or makeup remover, whatever you want, micellar water, and you just literally wipe off the magnets gently, pop it back on. These things can last you months. I just trashed a pair of magnetic lashes I had since like maybe June or July. No, it was like end of July. Yeah. So I had them for 2.5 months wearing them and just cleaning them off every night. Game changer. So then tax time gonna hit soon after. So yes, okay, like we be in the wilderness in January, but then when like people start getting them refunds in February and whatnot, it's like okay, it's getting good. And then like March, April, it's like okay, whew, we're out of the wilderness. But it's still not as good. I would say the best months in my experience, May, because people are popping out real heavy. It's like really warm and people going out and they don't want to have to cook and stuff. And like August is surprisingly pretty decent, I think, with all the back to school rush. And then October through December, those months right there, you need to be on it. Like that's your months to go ahead and sacrifice and be on your game. So yeah, sacrifice. If you're doing gig work, get it now and save your money, especially if you're doing it on the side. Save the extra money that you make. If it's your bread and butter, try to go a little harder in the paint than you normally would and get your savings back up and stuff. That makes sense. My husband is a PK. I have to be cautious myself on how much I put in my business street. Yeah, like it's definitely sometimes too much of a good thing can become a bad thing, and then it could just like make you kind of like make the relationships in your life or just other things harder than it needs to be. So it's just a matter of balance. Good point, Michelle. Right. I haven't tried magnetic lashes. Game changer. Are hard because I don't know how to do that magnetic liner. Really? Once you like, I always do a cat eye kind of. I don't do a drastic one, but or like I'll say wings, like a minute wing liner. Once you do that and you master lining your eyes, oh, it's a wrap. But you gotta let the liner dry all the way, because that was another thing I was kind of messing up with my first pair of magnetic lashes. I thought that if I popped it on when it was still a little dewy like the glue, that it would, stick on better, but it actually messes up the magnets faster than if you like line your eyes. I usually line mine about 3 times, but at least 2 times to as much as 4 times if you really want to hold. Let it dry, and then once it's dry completely, pop on those magnets. Make sure they're clean. Wipe them off if you need to pop it on. They're gonna stay on all day. And I sweat easily, and I be crying a lot during the day because I be like crying during worship music and stuff. And they last, they really be lasting. So I love it. And less harsh on your lashes too, because my lashes got a lot thinner after I gave birth. I don't know if anybody else had that, but my lashes got thinner, my hair got thinner. Like Christian took my lashes, he took my hair, he took everything. I'm just like, you took it all from me. One thing I'm gonna do is parent these kids. I could probably be a better wife though. That's funny that you say that, because I know a couple of my married friends who say the same thing, where they're like, when it comes to motherhood, they feel like they got that down pat. But when it comes to their marriage, it's like they know that there's obvious room for growth. And I'm like, that's very interesting. I feel like we're definitely 9 times out of 10 as women, we are nurtured and reared to adjust to motherhood faster than marriage. And then you're dealing with a whole grown adult. And that in and of itself is a lot. Like it's a lot. It's a beautiful thing, but I'm just like, yeah. Like, I don't know, Lord. I don't know. I think I'm straight. I think I'm good. But it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, once you realize it, you're good to go. And I was saying that too. Like, I'm not gonna allow like my involvement in other things, including church activities, to pull me away from my one-on-one time with Christian, because a lot of the events at the church I'm going to are around the time that I would work. And so for me to go would be time away from him, because I can't really take him with me, because by the time it ends, I got to basically start working right away. And I can't really work with Christian. I could, but because he does like to help like carry the bags and stuff, but then he gets disgruntled because he's seeing and smelling all this good food and he can't eat it. And then it's just like, you can't leave him in the car. He's still too young for that. So that part isn't too hard because he can hop in and out himself, buckle himself up and all that. But it's just the fact of like, okay, I got another body I gotta watch. He wants a snack, he wants to eat, he wants to do this, he wants to do that. So it's like, yeah, nah. And then I'll be out late. I like to work nights. It's less traffic, better tips. better pay. I think it's because I've been a mom longer. Yeah. So it's more natural for me. And yes, why am I giving to an adult what I'm giving to my kids? Unconfuse me. That's so funny. But some of my friends too they have been married longer than they've been moms, but still they say the same thing. Like, I don't know, it just clicks easier. I think it's definitely the adult thing. Like, it's hard, it's easier, at least for me, because I don't know. Some people don't get along with kids. Some people don't really like kids at all. But to me, it's like easier to be around children in that way and to adjust to that than to have to like compromise and work and team build and all that with an adult. Like, it's a lot. But that's so opposite of Christianity. We're all kids in Christ. Yeah, so we all need the same level of love, grace, and attention that children need. That's so true. So true. But whew, yeah, I'd be like, come on now. You get it together. Get it together. What are you doing? So yeah, that's basically my month. Just, and I want to encourage you guys. I don't have any like super deep points or anything like that. But I do want to tell you guys to just reset this month. Like, do what you need to do. And that's really the whole way that you start to reset. Like, sit, think to yourself, what do I need to do in this season? Do I need to be hustling and bustling right now? Or do I need to just take the rest of the year and woosah and reevaluate and recalibrate and figure out what I'm doing? And once, excuse me, you get clarity about that, it'll be easier to show up, because that's what I kind of had to do with my YouTube career too. Because I felt like I was just showing up just to show up. And I felt like it was just kind of like, what am I doing this all for? I know Heather Torres of Think Media says that. She was like, you get to that point in your YouTube career, really anything, where you kind of have to stop and ask yourself, what is the point of all of this? Like, what am I really doing here? What am I showing up for? And that's what I had to realize. Like, okay, this isn't really going to be what God has for me, but it's okay, because on my vision board, which I'll probably review on my New Year's Eve live, one of my things on there is to be a full-time YouTuber. And it hit me this year, like, that's not what God has for me. At least not right now. Who knows if that'll happen later on in life, but I truly believe what's going to be what my biggest impact and biggest like purpose fulfiller are my businesses, particularly my product-based businesses, even though they're not like revolutionary, like there's other people selling what I'm gonna be selling. But I just feel it in my shana. I feel it in my gut that God's like, yeah, like this is what in the world? Like, now on my phone talking to me. What the I heard the voice and I was like, I'm the only one in the room. What is going on? But yeah, God like really put that in my spirit recently, where it was like, yeah, the stuff that you didn't want to do is where you're gonna make the biggest impact. And the stuff that you basically was like, this is gonna be it, and I believe this is what God's calling me to. It's like, no, like, yes, you're gonna make an impact, but it's not going to be as big of an impact as that stuff over there. And like, you need to reset, get back to basics, but you need to grind. Like, this is not your season to kick your feet up and to just be leisurely. I've had to turn down a lot of outings, especially now that I'm hosting my own outings and events. I'm like, I got to spare them coins, y'all. I got to spare them coins. It's a lot of birthdays coming up. Christian's November 2nd. So this month, if nothing else, is always a month I'm preparing for his birthday to do something, because we don't really, like I said, we don't get to do as much during the year. So I try to really go big or go home for his birthday. And then a couple weeks after that, Thanksgiving. And then my birthday is right around Thanksgiving, or sometimes it's Thanksgiving Day because it's the 28th of November. And then my mom's birthday is December 2nd. My brother's December 12th. Christmas is right after that. Then New Year's. I mean, it's like literally like boom, 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 plus other stuff too. So, I'm just like, literally, me and my sister sat down the other day, because she's in the group too, obviously. And so she helps me, like, I bounce ideas off her, like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And so I was like, yeah, like every weekend is booked for the rest of the year for me, pretty much. I think I have one free weekend. Other than that, it's like, catch me if you can, because your girl is booked and busy, which I like. I thrive when I'm busy. I'm not going to lie. Booked and busy. True, because I do not like to be touched or talked to, especially when I'm working. Ooh, that's good. But of course, my kids don't know that, so I'm uninterested in what they have going on. That's so good, because kids be on you. Like, they still act like the umbilical cord is still attached. Like Christian, he treats me like a human jungle gym. I could be on the computer, like if he was here right now, and he'd be on my lap. You guys have seen that a couple times, actually, where he like stormed in and took over my live. And he'll be on my lap, all in the camera, doing that, or just climbing my back and whatnot. He does it with my sister too, because she works at home. So yeah, I definitely don't care for that either. I also don't like people standing behind me when I'm on the computer. It's always been a pet peeve of mine. I don't know why, but it's like, don't stand over my shoulder when I'm on the computer. Don't know why though. With my hubby on the other end, I'm like, I can tell you the truth that I don't want to be bothered. No, for real though, because I would say it like, yeah, I kind of need some alone time right now. I'm kind of working right now, you know. So I definitely feel you with that. I feel you on just showing up. That's why I no longer go live every Friday. Yeah, I noticed, and I'm here for it. I totally support that, sis, for real. Like, that's why I'm live today because I was supposed to be live last week. Wait, what was last week Thursday? Today's what? The 7th, 8th. Today's the 7th. So last week Thursday. No, it wasn't last week Thursday. I was supposed to be live for the prayer on Sunday. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I got too much going on. So I don't know the computer. Okay, I'm glad you're back though. Cause come on, computer, don't be doing this like that. I was like too much going on, and so I pushed the time back on Sunday. But then I ended up because I had to do stuff this week and catch up from being sick the week before, and so then I had pushed it to Thursday, I think, or Tuesday or something. And then I like Thursday. Then I pushed the time back on Thursday, and I was like, let's go do Friday. We're gonna do Friday because at this point, if I don't do Friday, it's like I can do it. And one thing I try to do, if nothing else, is my prayers because I know they don't viral. I know they don't get the click rate, but it helps the people that it's for, and it helps me because sometimes I go back and listen to the prayers, and I'm just like, that was perfect. Like I was speaking to future Rondelle. So I always try to do that, and then this month starts back my theme. So I'm like, I got to do it Friday. Monday, I will be live because at first I scheduled it for Tuesday, and then Christian's Homeschool Center sent out a text through the app and was like, just a reminder that Monday's Columbus Day and we're closed. And I was like, I forgot about Columbus Day. So I was like, we're going to go live on Monday. That's perfect. So Monday will start the series that, like the prelude to the series is basically going to be how you know it's time to leave your church and how to find a better church or a new church. And that's going to tie into the spiritual abuse talk that I'm having at the end of the month. I have this amazing woman who has a great nonprofit that helps people that have been church hurt and spiritually abused. She's coming at the end of the month. She's across the pond in England. So I'm super excited. Hold on. You said the connection is shaky. Is it okay now? Are we good? Oh no, you had a long comment in the chat. I didn't even see it. When God gives me a word, I hop on, but I'm not showing up just to show up. I feel that. Is the connection good now? Can y'all see me okay and hear me? Everything good? Because everything's flowing fine on my end. The Wi-Fi is strong, everything like that. Is it okay now? It's a little blurry. What? Okay, let me. What about now? Am I good now? Because that's strange. Like y'all's comments are popping up fine. My Wi-Fi is good. Why in the world is it blurry? Why is this doing this? Okay. I'm just gonna finish my point and then pray and get off because I don't want to really end it to come back. So hopefully on the replay it's not blurry or it clears up because that's really bizarre. Like I don't know what's going on. Oh man, I hate when that happens. You see what is blurry now? Still blurry? Okay. Okay, I hear you without an issue. I'm good. Okay, I'll just keep talking. I'm almost done anyway. But yeah, so she's in England. She's going to be here October 29th, I think it is. Okay, thanks. I'm glad I'm good now. StreamYard needs to get it together. Like, what are we doing? What's going on? I think it's the 29th. Let me check my calendar because I messed up the dates. I'm like a day behind mentally. So let me see real quick. I think it's the 29th. Is it the 29th? 27th. Who child? See, I'm 2 days behind mentally. On the 27th, she'll be on here and we'll be talking about spiritual abuse. Now, I know this month is dedicated to domestic violence, but I really wanted to encompass different types of abuse because while we can have the conversation throughout the year, I think when you are doing it during a month that's dedicated to that, it's like people are more aware of it. They're more so researching it and so on and so forth, trying to, get more savvy about it. So I'm like, let me go ahead and do it this month. And then, we can have future conversations on it or what have you. So she's going to be on the 27th. I'm still trying to confirm the guest for the 20th. I want that to be someone who has been a survivor of DV. And then the 13th, I'm going to end up having to share the signs of abuse or whatever, because I couldn't find, I searched high and low. I couldn't find a therapist or a professional or anybody that specializes in that. There are a lot of therapists that specialize in narcissism and like trauma, but not necessarily narcissism and trauma attached to abuse, if that makes sense. So I'm like, I'm just going to do my best, share some facts, have a discussion around it, and that'll be that. But Monday I'll be live at 1 p.m. Eastern, so 12 noon for those of you who are Central. Monday, that would be the church, like how to recognize it's time to leave a church and find a better church. And then starting Thursday would be the 13th, would be the series for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Love it. And I still want to ask my friend about her availability. Yeah, definitely let me know for sure. This week was a lot with the webinar. I totally understand. Definitely let me know if she is. It's last minute. If she's available Thursday, that would be great. If not, I totally understand, because this is also last minute trying to find people. I haven't really been on my social media like that. Otherwise, I would have been, a little bit more prepared and so on and so forth. And these ideas hit me last minute. So if she can, just go ahead and let her know I would need her Thursday night for a live, because I'm not even going to have time to pre-record. And usually it's 9 p.m. Eastern, but I'll text you again if you need me to. Michael just came inside, walked in the kitchen, and said, "She live in the fire." I'm done. What's up, Michael? What's up? Texting my friend now. Okay, thank you. Definitely let me know. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my whole life together. Life got me in a chokehold right now, like real talk. But so that's what I want to say. Bottom line of this live, if you get nothing else, don't feel the pressure to hustle and bustle because it's the last quarter of the year. Take this time to reset and refocus on whatever it is you feel God is leading you to. If that means that you need to rest, then you rest. If that means that you need to grind, then you grind. If that means that you need to switch direction, maybe you're focusing on the wrong thing, then do that. Like whatever it is, just spend that time. I will encourage you to fast at some point this month. I know my old church in Virginia does a corporate fast every October. And like I said, I usually hosted a fast myself, but this year I already knew I was going to be busy with the group and stuff. And I was like, I'm not even about to do that. And then I can't keep up, because when I host it, I try to send like daily or, every other day type of communication to just encourage and stuff. And I just don't want it to be janky, but I will encourage you to fast in some way, shape, or form. And it could be a day, it could be 3 days. Don't have to be drastic. If you want to do it for the rest of the month, knock yourself out. I also encourage you to detox. I actually told the ladies this in the singles group, like physically detox. Because when the holidays hit, it's a lot. We be eating a lot. Like it's a Super Bowl for foodies once November hits. So it's like, if you could detox, even just drink more water or something, or if you want to do like I take these colon cleanse pills, but if you're going to take them, be prepared, brace yourself, because them things clean you out. Okay, you are clean as a whistle by the time you're done with that. But just so that you can kind of get back to normal, because sometimes too your mood and all that's affected because your body just got a lot going on. Like you haven't cleansed, you haven't rested, you haven't fasted, you haven't recentered. Like you got to get it back. You got to get it back, clean out, and just kind of feel like, I feel human again. It could just merely be dehydration or like you're too clogged up. So I would encourage you to do that, because I'm doing that this month, and I am going to fast. I think I'm going to do a 3 or 5 day fast and call it a day. So that's the bottom line of this live, is nothing else. Also, give me your prayer requests, your praise reports real quick. I'm going to give you mine, then we're going to pray and be out. And I'll put a picture of my finished look with the lashes and my hair on the community tab. Because like I said, I would have to get up to get my magnetic liner, and I think it's in my bathroom, but I'm not sure. So I don't want to keep y'all hanging. We already see the Wi-Fi is trying to play me. So, but while y'all putting your praise reports, and it could be from September, August, whenever, yesterday, just share your praise reports, no matter how small or big. And also those on the replay, comment down below and let us know, and comment your prayer requests as well, because I do pray throughout the month for all of my viewers and specific prayer requests. And I encourage you guys to pray for each other as well. There is power in prayer. God do be listening. Okay. He be knowing what we're talking about. So definitely keep each other uplifted. Like I know it's the prayers of many that have helped me. So praise reports, I'm almost 100%. I'm like 98% better. It's just a little bit of congestion left. And that's honestly the up and down weather, because it's warm during the day here. Night gets cold. It's like you don't really know what to wear. You don't really know whether to have the AC on or the heat. It's like it's all over the place. And then, of course, with Christian, because he hasn't been out the house in almost 2 weeks. But kids just, I don't know, it's like really lingering for him this time. Usually it's not lingering that much. But praising God for health, praising God for provision, supernatural provision, okay, just in the nick of time type of provision. Like, thank you, Lord. That's helping me. Plus, on top of the holidays, to get that surplus, because I felt like I was kind of in the not quite in the red yet, but I was definitely getting there. Like, I was keeping my head above water, and so that financial blessing definitely has helped. So I'm just trying to take advantage of that. Praising God for everything that's happening, every open door that's been happening. Praising, oh, excuse me, praising God for a good first event with Single and Saved in the City. The virtual mixer was a lot of fun. The ladies loved the giveaway and all that. Um, and praising God. I'm just gonna go ahead and praise him for the event this month because I'm a little nervous. It's an in-person event, and I know how sometimes people can be leery about coming to an event, especially if they don't know me like that. And so the group has grown. We have 23 women now, but not all of them are in this area. And I know one, she already told me she can't go because she has to work. And so I just don't want to put all this energy and thought and whatnot into planning something, and then it ends up just being me and my sister. But I did think earlier, I was like, okay, well, if it ends up just being me and my sister, I'm still going to tape, I'm still going to show content, and I'm just going to be vulnerable and be like, this is the reality of when you're running a business, a group, whatever. Things don't always go as planned. So it is what it is. Like, we still made the most of it, but ideally I do want it to be at least a couple women. So I'm just going to give God praise, but that's also a prayer request too, that the ladies actually show up, that they don't just RSVP, but they actually show up, because you got to expect some people aren't going to show up. It always happens. That's just human nature, but I don't want that to be the majority. So prayer requests for me, and then I'll read y'all's. Just prayer requests for y'all. Next month, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm not going to say what kind of car, but I am going to go ahead and try to buy a car next month. And I need prayers. I need the saints to tarry in the spirit. Like, I need prayers for real, because your girl is tired. I'm tired of renting, okay? I am sick and tired of renting. And I'm not even going to tell y'all numbers right now, but just know I've spent a couple bags on rental car. Like, I could have a brand spanking new, probably luxury car, honestly, at this point, if I had my own car. So definitely pray for a car. I'm praying that this time, it being this time of year, which generally is better to buy cars end of the year because they're just trying to get rid of the stuff on the lot. Plus November being my birthday month, I'm praying that God will smile on me, work the room, that I will go in and be like, this is the car I want. And they like, boom, here you go. Like, even though I'm not going to have no crazy down payment or whatever, like, I need you saints, okay? I need my prayer warriors to be tarrying. You hear me? Tarry. If you don't pray for anything else, pray for that car, please. Like, I need that. So definitely that, and then just prayer for time management. Like I said, God has called me to hustle, grind this time of year, and I'm just trying to make sure I use my time wisely, stay on top of Christian stuff, and to get like, at this point, I don't expect to be exercising every day, but I do want to get my physical activity back up a little bit because it's definitely not where it should be. So I think that's really it. And then, of course, moving. That's another big one. If you don't pray for nothing else, the car and my family has to move. And that's also something else where we're like, I don't know, because some of the neighborhoods we want to go to, we can't go to now because it's too far from Christian school. Other places, it's the same property management, and we don't want to stay with them because they have been horrendous. I'll share more of that New Year's Eve. It's just a lot of like, okay, we can't go there. Okay, we don't want to go there. Okay, that's not feasible. So moving and within that affordability, within Christian's vicinity to his homeschool center, and the car. Those are two biggies. And I know God's done it before. He's going to do it again because we got in this brand spanking new house with no jobs, no income. So he can do it again. But I definitely need the prayers of many because, yeah. So let me read you guys this stuff. And then we will be good to go. I'll pray and we'll be good to go. Prayer request for Josh. Absolutely. Oh, God is calling you to fast too. Yes. Like, this is definitely a good month to do it for sure. So Josh, for the prayer request, praise report, doesn't matter how small. So I reached 3K subscribers. Hey, get it. Hey, you deserve every one of them 3K because you be on it. Okay. Like, I gave up on growth, but I'm here for it. I'm so glad that you reached 3K. Yay, she said she would love to. Yes. Now I didn't mention the date, but I'll connect the two of you now. Okay, good. She's not a survivor, but works with young people who dealt with sexual assault. I don't even know if that's what you had in mind. No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Because I wanted someone who's a professional that could give us like signs of maybe like potentially abusive traumatic situation, or DV type situation. So I think she'll be good. She'll at least be able to be a professional speaking versus me. So thank you for that. Definitely connect us on my other Instagram page, official Rondelle Martin. I don't do the YouTube collabs on single and save because that's like a whole nother thing, and it doesn't really have my YouTube info on there. So connect us on official Rondelle Martin. And even if you just want to send me her stuff, I'll message her right after this because I've been reaching out to everybody. That's what you had. Oh yeah. Oh, I already said that. Sorry. I don't mix the first part of the praise report. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Glory to God that the event went well. I know it really surpassed my expectations. Like so my goal for that event was only to have 10 women register. I had 22 women register and 13 women show up. 10 stayed for the whole thing. 3 of them had to leave early. But yeah, so I was like, okay, God. So I'm like, give me that same favor, for this outing. But we shall see. I just don't want it to be me and my sister, like I said. But if it is, we gonna still take pictures and just turn it into a lesson and content, period. Because once I get dressed, we getting content. Like we're getting content. We're praising God for a good turnout. Yes. Hold on, I'm gonna write mine. Okay. God is going to exceed your request. Thank you in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Let me add my request. We're praying that join us for our virtual summit. Oh, did you already have the summit already? Was that already this week or is that coming up? I can't remember. Praying for the car. Thanks, sis. I really appreciate it. Prayer request for favor with the insurance and then securing a new car. Yes. Y'all tarry in the spirit for our good sis Michelle too. Me and her are both in that same boat without a crazy down payment or monthly payment. Yes. Amen. Amen. Okay. Without a crazy down payment or monthly payment. Yes. Keep us both in prayer for that. And it's so crazy because we both got our cars around the same time last year. Isn't that crazy? And here we are in the same boat. Like, what in the world? This don't even make no sense. God's got to come through because this don't even make no kind of sense. Praying for time management. Thank you. Praying, yes. Praying for the move. Amen. Thank you. He's going to do it. Praise report. I feel the transition in the season. There was some really good news for our family. Yes, it's well the way things have happened, the order of things. That's crazy. I can't wait to hear more. If you care to share, I'm not going to force you to tell me. She can totally do that. Yes, absolutely. And you did not give up on YouTube. You're still here showing up. I am. You're right. I feel like I just was like, if I grow, I grow, whatever. Prayer support, the way God has really spoke to me through Michael. Glory to God. Come on, Michael. You better go ahead. Prophet, Apostle Michael. That's great, Dell. I know. I was like, look at God. We had the webinar yesterday. The summit is November 4th through 5th. Okay. Yes. Is the summit in person or you said it was virtual? I think you said it was virtual. Rondelle, we both had testimony around the same time with our cars last year. And now look, God's like, might as well put you on the same boat so you can encourage one another at the same time. Isn't it crazy? Like, it's like when they say when you're with someone, you start to look like them. I feel like because we're so close, like you, me, Adam, and stuff, like our lives be parallel around the same time. We're going through the same stuff. But if there's no more prayer requests or praise reports, I'm going to go ahead and pray. I'll give it like 10, 15 more seconds. And of course, like I said on the replay, comment yours down below. Feel free to be as specific or vague as you want. But I do encourage you to because these are some praying women. Okay, I got some praying women on my chat and in my channel, period. They might not always be in the chat, but they come back and watch. And there's some praying women. So, don't think that you have to carry the burden by yourself. There's a community here to uplift you. God is going to bless you how he plans to bless you, right? You don't have to force to get it. So the way you're showing up on YouTube is still fine. Amen. Come on. You better encourage, sis. You better encourage. Oh, okay, virtual. Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute. Come on, in-person summit. So I'm going to go ahead and pray so I can pop on these lashes and get to this money and then be on my way. So if you can, you could go ahead and bow your head and close your eyes. If not, you could just, listen to the prayer. Dear God, thank you for gathering us here tonight, Lord. We thank you for blessing us to see this day. We thank you for blessing us to see a new month, Lord. Not everybody has made it to this month, and we don't ever want to get familiar with your blessings. Even if they're more everyday or mundane, they're still blessings, and we want to acknowledge you on that. We thank you for all the ways in which you're showing up even now, whether it's through our jobs, our businesses, our marriages, relationships, friendships, motherhood, whatever it is, all the ways in which you're showing up, not only showing up in an act or in the blessing, but in the way that you're blessing us by changing us, by maturing us, by pruning us, and wisening us up to whatever you're doing and just to trust in you and having more faith. We thank you for being a provider in all of the ways that we need and then some, showing up exceedingly and abundantly every single time. You never fail to do that. We thank you for being a God who leans his ear to us and who listens to us and genuinely knows us. Like, you know exactly what we need, what we desire, what's on our hearts before we can even formulate the words to express it to you. You know it, Lord. And so we just want to thank you that even when we're too weak to pray, maybe we've been in a season where we've been falling away from, our prayer time or our journaling time or our devotion time, and we're just kind of like going through the motions, or we're showing up, but it's not with as much vigor or whatever. We just thank you that even in those moments when we don't express it how we should, you still understand our heart, you still understand our spirit towards you and our mind towards you. And we thank you for that you stand in the gap for us, Jesus. Lord, I thank you for all the ways in which you have just blessed us this month so far, and how you're going to bless us for the rest of the month. I thank you for the people you're bringing into our lives, for the doors that are opening up, Lord. I thank you that even through our prayer requests, that we can trust that you will show up in the way that you're supposed to show up, and even exceeding our expectations. You're going to still show up and show out, even if we're afraid of the outcome, even if we're still kind of fearful or, a little anxious. We know that we can still trust you. And sometimes it's easier said than done to trust, to truly relinquish and say, okay, God's got it. But I know for me, I tend to worry first, but even still, you still don't chastise me. You still don't condemn me. You still care about me and other people who might struggle with that too, Lord. So, Lord, I pray that you would be with Yasmin's son, Josh. You would cover him when he's going out, when he's coming in his classes, and whatever else he's doing, his job, anything that might be stressing him out, anything that might be tempting him, anything that might be trying to pull him away from what you would have him to do, Lord. I pray that you align him back to your plans, your perfect plans, your ideal plans, Lord. And I pray that he would be changed and matured in the process, Lord. And I thank you that even when we make mistakes, even when we go off course, it's never outside of your sovereign power, Lord. And so I just pray that you order his steps, you open up his heart, his mind to you even more, that he would lean on you, he would trust you, he would get to know you in a different way in this season than he's ever known you before, Lord. And that would strengthen his faith and strengthen his testimony to impact others. Lord, I pray for Michelle. I pray that you would be with her vehicle hunt, that you would bless her, Lord, and me. We're in the same season again this year, that you would just bless both of us as we go for the cars that we truly desire, Lord. I pray that we don't have to settle. We've settled a lot in life, and we've been grateful through it. Even though it wasn't what we really wanted, we were still seeing the silver lining. We were still praising through it. But Lord, I pray that in this season that we don't just get the, well, this is what I had to settle for blessing. We get the, this is my heart's desire blessing. This is what I really wanted, and I've been waiting for it, and I paid my dues for it, and I finally have it in my hands, Lord. Those hopes that have been deferred, those dreams that have been deferred, that they will come to pass. You said in your word that hopes deferred make the heart grow sick, Lord. So I pray for every hope, even if it's not a car. For us, it's a car in this season, but whatever it is for anybody, whether it's a healthy Christ-centered relationship, whether it's renewing the love and intimacy in a marriage, whether it's restoring reconciliation in a friendship or whatever, that those hopes that have been deferred, we've been praying for, we've been waiting for results, that they would come to pass exceedingly and abundantly, phenomenally, that we would be blown away in the way that they come to pass, Lord. I pray that you give us favor in the dealerships, that you connect us with the right car dealers and the right representatives in the dealership that are honest, that want to work with us, that have a heart for people, and that really try to get us the best deal possible, given our individual circumstances, and that we don't have to become slaves to our cars, or we don't have to become people that the car owns us. The car possesses us. We want to own the car. We don't want the car to own us, Lord. And so I pray that you just give us supernatural favor. Let things shift in our favor. Let the atmosphere shift. Let the right doors open. Open up the hands of the person who has to sign the approval or whatever the case may be. Open up and loosen the hands of the person at the bank that has to approve it, Lord. Just let and give us discernment to know when to go and to act in faith as well, to not overthink ourselves out of a blessing. Lord, I pray for those of us who might have health issues right now, and we don't know quite what to do. I pray that you would help our bodies regulate the way you design them to regulate, Lord, that the illness would disappear, would be gone from the crown of our heads to the soles of our feet. That when we go to the doctor, they are amazed because they're like, wow, I don't even see what I saw last time. What did you do? And all we could do is give you the glory, honor, and praise. And it's a testimony right there in that doctor's office of your healing power, Lord. I pray for families right now during this time of year. It can be tough for some people. While we think the holidays are all joy and happiness and just great times, for a lot of people, it's also a hard time. It's a hurtful time when they're grieving the loss of loved ones and close friends and so on and so forth. Or maybe even traumatic life events, Lord. As we know, this month is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Lord. And so as people are remembering their testimony and how you brought them out, but that could bring back painful memories, I pray that you just give them the strength to celebrate that they made it to the other side, that you brought them out by your grace, your mercy, your love and power, Lord. And for those who are grieving the loss of loved ones, that they will remember the good times and they will remember the good memories and they would smile when they remember it, and that the hurt will be a little less this year, and it will be more so joyful memories. It will be more so smiling through that, through the healing, that they would be surrounded by a circle of people that would embrace them this holiday season. It can be hard for people that are grieving, especially if they're single and they don't have children and they have to kind of face it on their own. I pray that you surround them with healthy community, whether it's through their church, whether it's through another ministry or a friend or whoever that can really welcome them into their homes, Lord. And let us all be a little bit more aware of people around us that might need to be loved on a little bit more during this season, Lord. Plus, on top of just seasonal depression and things like that, Lord, there's just a lot that the enemy could try to use to keep us in isolated and solitude, depressed, down and out. So I pray that we do our best to show up for people, even if it's just being an ear to for them to vent to, being a shoulder for people to cry on, and just reaching out a little bit more whenever we can, and having a little bit more grace for everybody, because we're all fighting battles that we don't know. And we just want to be gracious and understanding and hospitable to people, and not so self-centered about you're not calling me, you're not doing this for me, whoever it is, whether it's a friend, spouse, whoever, family member, whatever. Lord, I also pray for more rest, that we reset, that we are true to what you are calling each and every one of us to do in this season, and that we understand that what you're calling me to do is going to be different than what you're calling someone else to do, and vice versa. And we don't get caught up in the trap of comparison and thinking, oh man, everyone said I got to work, I got to hustle, let me do that. Or people are saying I got to rest, let me do that. If you're not called to do it, Lord, I just pray that we stay true to what you're calling us to, and we could get back to basics. We could recalibrate so we don't go into the new year burned out, broke, busted, and disgusted, but where we could go in already rejuvenated. So now we can really hit the ground running in whatever you need us to do. So Lord, I just pray that as I finish this prayer and we go our separate ways after this live stream, that you be with everybody watching this live in the moment now, and those watching the replay, that we would keep each other uplifted in the coming days and weeks, even if we don't remember all the details, or we would just keep each other uplifted. There is a power in multitude of numbers. There are things that shift when two or three gather, and when we uplift one another as a community. So Lord, I just pray that we don't forget what was shared in this live, that we're not afraid to reach out to each other if need be, or other people in our lives, and that you just cover us. You order our steps, you cover us when we're coming, when we're going, Lord. I pray that what we put our hands to in this season will be successful, that we won't have to fear the outcome, even if it didn't quite look how we thought. It's all according to your sovereign plan, Lord. So I pray for more trust, more rest, more reset, more focus, and that we get our peace back if we don't have it, and that we maintain our peace if we do have it. Lord, protect everybody as they're going out and about this weekend and the week to come. Cover them, order their steps, cover their homes, and just bless them supernaturally. I want to hear tons of testimonies, Lord. And so we won't fail to give you the glory, honor, and the praise when these prayers are answered. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. Man, sorry, I had to keep clearing my throat. Didn't bring my water. So, yes, come on and affirm the prayer in the chat, y'all. I told y'all you better put your prayer requests in the comments, because you see these women don't be playing when it comes to prayer. Yes, the blessings of the Lord makes one rich and adds no sorrow. Come on. Yes, we come against everything that's not in line with your will. Y'all better put your prayer requests and quit playing, because Michelle and Yasmin and everybody that watches going to pray for you. So, but that's it, y'all. Like I said, don't forget Monday, because I know I'm not usually live on Monday. Monday, 1 p.m. my time, but 12 p.m. Central. 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 12 noon Central. I'll be live to talk about the church topic. And then Thursday, I'll be live, prayerfully with Yasmin's friend. I'm going to message her after this. And then we just going to get started. So y'all have a good weekend. Can't wait to share this series with y'all. I'll put the finished look on my community tab and my Instagram stories. And I'll talk to y'all. I'll be talking to y'all, I'm sure, some way, somehow during the weekend. But take care. Enjoy your time. Wait, I might have to put what in the group chat? Oh, right. Yeah, I might have to. I definitely will. I'll definitely put the link. I got to schedule it. If I don't schedule it tonight, it's going to be scheduled tomorrow, and then I'll share it in the group chat. But love y'all. Be safe. Have a good weekend. Yes, please send me her information, and I will reach out to her. Yes, prosperous in Jesus' name. Good tips. Good tips and words tonight. Love y'all. Enjoy your weekend, and be safe, y'all. I'll see you Monday afternoon. Bye.